Imagine that you are about to embark on a difficult and exciting journey. Will you prepare for it? You'd better, otherwise, it's going to be a very short journey. Among other things, you'll probably want to look at the map to find the best route, which places to visit, and which to avoid, and so on. And obviously, you would like for the map to be as truthful as possible, right? A map that shows some made-up places can be entertaining, but it is useless in real world. A fantasy map is only useful while you read a fantasy novel. Now, life is a journey too, and our knowledge of the world is our map. We start out knowing a little, and as we grow, our map expands, becomes more and more detailed. Thankfully, a lot of people before us explored this world, and there are plenty of maps to study. But the main means of mapping the world for a child is, of course, the education system. Universal education is one of the greatest inventions of humanity. Ideally, we should get people of broad views and of some understanding of how the world works and how to navigate it. But because the education system is imperfect and people differ vastly in their abilities, we get what we get. Once we reach the age of adulthood, our real journey begins. Now you'd better hope that you've been taught well and you've learned well, or your journey is going to be far less pleasant than it could be. While a lot of the knowledge received during education process will turn out useless or irrelevant, that's not the point of general education. The point is to give you as broad a map as possible so that you could choose which direction you want to go. Just like with the geographical map of the world, you won't be able to visit all the places, so it's important to choose wisely. So the education is our map, and the analogy is that if your map is false, if it makes you believe in things that are not there or disbelieve things that are there, this can be very detrimental to your future. Also, if education doesn't teach you to think, it's a waste, because thinking for humans is like flying for birds. Education reflects the underlying belief system of a society. A good example of an education system that had some fundamental faults existed in the Soviet Union. The education in the USSR was arguably incredible at some point. Its focus on sciences led to great technological advances. And at the same time, the country made emphasis on ideology. This on its own wasn't a problem. The problem was that the ideology was flawed. Its estimation of human nature was wrong. It was based on idealistic notions, which means it was detached from reality. And yet, it influenced most educational programs. Eventually, it led to a situation where no one believed in the ideology, but students still had to waste their time studying the stuff. Nowadays, developed countries do a reasonably good job of teaching children facts about the physical world. It's easy in the sense that the facts have been proven and they don't carry much of an emotional load. Society knows how to produce great professionals, how to grow crops, build machines, etc. In other words, whenever it's about something outside of us, we can be very rational and scientific. But when it comes to relationships, politics, suddenly we are not sure of anything. Suddenly there are thousands of opinions and everyone is shouting and fighting. Suddenly we're nothing but a bunch of chimps. And that's the truth, isn't it? We are a group of apes with sophisticated sticks with which we hit each other now and again. The basic instincts are there, and here come the faults of modern education. It is mainly concerned with giving the knowledge and skills that lie outside of personal interactions or group dynamics. Meanwhile, the most important lessons are taught by kids to each other during recess and after school. Among other things, they teach that it's cool to bully, that if you're a bully, then you'll have power and attention because people will want to appease you. We stick children of various backgrounds and abilities together and just let them sort things out. Does this sound very rational? Who knows how many lives are ruined by such education every year? This may seem like a phase that children grow out of, but it is not. It's a human thing, and it's all about power. Actually, a lot is already known about human behavior. We know that people rarely challenge those in authority, even when they are given immoral orders. We know about cults and brainwashing and marketing and propaganda. In theory, we should be able to raise better people, rational and considerate, who instead of following crazed on power, self-aggrandizing maniacs would tell them to go fuck themselves. But judging by the way how societies are slowly unraveling, we don't do a very good job of it. To conclude, education in developed countries reflects the blind spots of their societies. Too much focus on the outward success, too little thought on why the fuck am I doing this. We're too busy running after the carrot to actually look around and see who is dangling it in front of our faces. We're like that kid who is crazy about a new toy, although he has dozens of old ones lying around. Only instead of toys it can be cars or women or places to visit. But why is this bad? It is not that consumption is inherently bad. We must consume. It becomes a problem when we overdo it. Let's take food for example. It's okay to eat, we need to eat, but it's not okay to eat yourself into grave. It is bad because this behavior means that a person isn't in control of himself. A more primitive animal can be forgiven for not being able to control itself, because it cannot. A child can be forgiven for wanting that shiny new toy, but in a grown human, this behavior means that he has become a slave, and it is the system which is very much to blame. We are trained to seek new and new ways of satisfying our wishes. We are trained just to follow our base desires and not to think why. And by becoming slaves to our desires, we become slaves to people who produce the things we desire. These people are clever now. Before, they used sticks to make slaves work, but now they control them via carrots.